You're making great progress, Underlord. You'll be back to your old self in no time. Our next target is the citadel of the intransigent dotard, Lord O'Theland. He's a dim-witted sort, and he seems to like marching his troops into an early grave. I'd say it's time to learn about traps. Welcome to the breach, Underlord. This stronghold was built into this chasm to safekeep one of the Empire's inhibitors. With its trained garrison, it's virtually impervious to attack. Fortunately for you, their commander, Lord O'Theland, is a vacuous sort who will throw his troops at your dungeon without strategy or order. I can think of no better time for you to learn how to build defenses for your dungeon. But to do this, you'll first need a foundry. Foundry unlocked. Open the veins of evil and unlock it now. Build one now and your minions will be happy to create defenses for your dungeon. A Chunder has entered your dungeon. A Chunder has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the foundry, this gassy creature will joyfully launch the fetid contents of its stomach to attack. Your other minions would do well to stay a few steps back. Perception Shrine claimed. You've discovered an artifact. You'll need an archive and cultists in order to research that artifact. Perception Shrine claimed. Your minions' needs are not being met, Underlord. Build them the basic rooms they require. You've discovered a gold shrine. Tagging it will allow your workers to mine unlimited wealth for your dungeon. If your coffers are full, or if you're afraid of how wealth might change you, you can always untag it with a second click. Your workers will continue to claim territory mindlessly. To prevent them from throwing their lives away, cast Impasse upon the flashing tile. Each Impasse flag will create a 3x3 area that your workers will not claim. Use it to keep your expansion in check and your workers alive. To dismiss an Impasse flag, simply give it a slap. You can also click the red Impasse icon to dismiss all such flags. Nothing has entered your dungeon. A cultist has entered your dungeon. You've identified an artifact of joy. Open the veins of evil and unlock the Blade Lotus. Blade Lotus unlocked. The Blade Lotus is a spinning flower of destruction that tears nearby enemies into shredded flesh as it pushes them away. Gold Shrine claimed. To build defenses for your dungeon, you need simply to lay their blueprints upon a claimed tile. Your minions will work to craft defense parts within your foundry, which will then be ferried off by your workers to construct them. Select the Blade Lotus and build it upon the flashing tile. Blade Lotus complete. Splendidly done, Underlord. But see how some of your mana has been locked away. These defenses require a small portion of your mana in order to function. You will regain this locked mana when the defense is destroyed or sold. Many of the defenses you build can be toggled between two distinct modes, each with their own effects. Toggle the Blade Lotus by clicking it now. The Blade Lotus can be dropped into a hidden mode, which allows enemies to unknowingly pass over it. The perfect trap for retreating foes. Now click the Blade Lotus again to reactivate it. When active, the Blade Lotus will carve your enemies down to size, unless you're fighting those stinking dwarves, who will end up pint-sized. Perception Shrine claimed. Due to its small size, the Blade Lotus is most effective in tight corridors. For a bit more firepower and range, you should consider the Bombard. You've discovered an artifact. This defense will launch flaming iron balls at any foe that mistakenly wanders too close, swiftly turning their bodies into broken vessels of blooded mash. Select the Bombard and build it upon one of the flashing tiles to the east of your dungeon core. What's the opposite of quick-witted? I hope you've built the Bombard by the time you figure it out.